Hey guys, so I am so incredibly, so excited. I really am. I'm so excited to be filming this video for you because I have been wanting to do something like this for probably 2 years. I mean, over 2 years, that I know for sure, because I lived here in Florida for almost 2, and I know I talked about it before that. So today's look is going to be on what I'm wearing right now. It's just your typical black to brown smoky eye. I paired it with a red lip. But what I wanted to address in this video in particular are some of the things that I do are things that I have changed in my makeup routine to still make looks like this work for me as I have gotten out of my 20s and into my 30s. Just some things and changes that I've noticed in my skin, for example. My skin's always been very dry, but it's even more dry now. The skin around my eyes is a little bit looser. The lines in my forehead show up more. So just like things like that. That I address so that they're not a problem anymore when I do my makeup, or at least I fix them to the best of my ability. So hopefully you find something in this video that might help you if you are struggling with some of those same things. So keep watching if you're interested to see how I got this look, and let's get into the video. So to start out, I'm going to start by priming my eyes today with the Urban Decay Primer Potion. This is the anti-aging one. I'm going to prime both lids, and then I also prime a little bit under each lid just to get that shadow that's going to be smoked out underneath from fading as well. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to set that primer down with the Mabelline FitMe powder. I'm in the shade 220. This is really bad. I need a new one. Actually, I have a new one. I just need to open it. The next step I'm going to do is a very important step, especially if you have eyes that are a little bit more downturned or if your eyes are hooded, is to apply Scotch tape. You want to apply Scotch tape in the shape that you want your eyes to be. So if you want them to be more drawn up, you're going to want to put your Scotch tape from the end of your eye here to the tail of your brow in an angle. So then that way, no matter how your skin actually looks, so if your eyes or your skin kind of droop down like this, by creating a line that looks like this, it's going to create that illusion that your eyes are actually upturned and make you look more awake and fresh and bright, even though this is a dark look, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to go in with some transition shades in my crease. I'm going to be blending 2 shades together. These 2 shades I use almost every single time that I do my makeup. It is Creme Brûlée and Peach Smoothie, both by Makeup Geek. On a big fluffy brush, this is the Sigma E40, and I'm just going to go in with those 2 shades in my crease. And actually a little bit higher, because if your eyes are hooded, you're going to want to make sure that you get that color up over the hood. So next I'm going to go in with my Morphe 35W palette, and I'm going to take a slightly darker brown shade than Creme Brûlée. I'm going to take this one right here and go over top of that. Using the Morphe M433 brush, and I'm going to go in with this shade right here from the palette. Same thing with this shade. You want to make sure that you take it up over your hood so that when you open your eyes, you'll have like a nice gradient, because you're going to take that black up over your hood too to kind of shadow that hood, sort of hide it away. And I'm going to kind of make this in a little bit more of like a cat type shape so that it does kind of give that illusion of bringing the eyes upward, drawing the eye upward. So I'm going to kind of bring it out a little bit past my eye, kind of here in this sort of triangle shape, as you can see here. So now I'm going to go down and I'm going to lay a base underneath my black eyeshadow, because I want that black to be really super hard black pigment deposited in there, so it looks like a very, very dark lid, and then it goes and fades out into like a nice smoky eye. So to do that, I'm going to use the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Black Bean. Then I'm going to go over that with my black shade. The shade that I'm using today is going to come from the Kat Von D Monarch palette. On my My MAC 223 brush. This brush is awesome. This brush has been through so much. I've washed it a million times. It's an excellent brush. It's maintained its shape. It doesn't shed. If you don't have this brush, you need to go buy it. It's a little bit pricey, as most MAC brushes are, but definitely worth the money for sure. So just take your time with this part, because this is going to be important to make sure that you don't have too much black so that you can still see some brown, so that the look is gradient. So just take your time and go in and blend slowly, just working that color upwards. And I'm going to go back in with the same shade that we used in the crease, that darker brown from this Morphe 35W palette, and I'm going to go and blend the top of that out just a little bit more. I'm going to go back in with the Sigma E40 into the first two shades that I use, those two shades from Makeup Geek, Peach Smoothie and Creme Brûlée, and run the top out a little bit more. So it's basically going from like your lightest shades to your darkest shades and then back out again. So now that that's done and blended, I'm going to go ahead and pull off this tape. That feels so good. Now it does look like a pretty harsh line, but the good thing about having a harsh line like that is that you need to be able to have something that is very definitively pointing in the upwards direction when your eyes tend to droop down. So we will soften that a little bit when we connect the bottom to it, but you definitely want to have something that goes pulled up if you're trying to combat downturn eyes. So to prime my skin today, I'm going to be using this product here. This is a fairly new product. I just received this in the mail. I ordered it from a site called Victoria Health, which is a site that comes from the UK, so it took me like a month to get this product. But I do know that they sell this brand, The Ordinary, on Beautylish. I'm not sure if they sell this exact primer, but I do know that they sell this brand. This is called the High-Spreadability Fluid Primer. This is supposed to be for mature skin. Now, I don't have mature skin, but I do have very dry skin. So I'm excited to try this primer because this is supposed to be, I saw it on a recommendation from Wayne Goss, and I was super excited because it's really affordable. So we're going to see how this goes. Ooh. Ooh, oh, oh. When you first put it on, it kind of smells like Robitussin, but I don't smell that anymore. But it's a really, really nice primer. Like, oh my gosh, this is really nice. This feels like if you had like something like a primer that was meant just for hydration, and like the Smashbox primer, like if they had a baby. I think I'm really going to like this primer. I don't know how long it makes your makeup last because this is the first time that I'm using this primer. So now that I feel like that is all soaked in, I'm going to be going in with the Kat Von D Lock-It Tattoo Foundation. I am in the shade 48 Light. This is her old packaging. She has new packaging. I've had this foundation for a very long time because I don't wear full coverage concealer every day. I usually only wear this when I'm going out or if I have a heavy eye look. So I just pump one pump on the back of my hand to begin with because this foundation is very thick. And if you've never used it before, it does oxidize. So if you are interested in purchasing this foundation, I think you should. The foundation is one of my favorite foundations. It's full coverage without making me look cakey, and that says a lot because my skin is very, very dry. But it does oxidize. So if you are interested in picking it up, like I was getting ready to tell you before I got off topic, put it on your skin, let it sit for just a minute, walk around the store, look for a few other things because the color does change a little bit. So I'm just going to go in and put this on with a damp sponge. For concealer today, I'm going to be using an oldie but a goodie. It is my MAC Pro-longwear concealer, and I am in the shade NW15. I usually just pump a little bit of this, also in the back of my hand, like half a pump, because this thing comes out like a geyser, like it shoots out. So I try to be like very careful so I don't waste product. Okay, that's a good one. Set my eyes before I do anything else, any more highlighting with concealer so that it does not crease, because I have a very large problem with stuff creasing underneath my eyes. That happens as, you know, we get out of our 20s and things like that. The skin loses elasticity underneath the eye, and it actually tends to fold a little bit easier. So the best thing to do is to make sure that you set your concealer with some kind of a powder right away. Have a little bit of a lighter hand with it, only just because I found that for me personally, if I go in with heavy powder, my eyes tend to they'll start looking crepey and kind of dry because my skin's dry, my under eye is dry, I'm just really dry. And but using a powder to set it without going heavy-handed will kind of help, you know, take care of the problem without giving you another one, you know what I mean? So I just take this It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores loose powder. I just dip my beauty blender in it like this, and then I was still wet, and I just go in and I dab it underneath each eye. So now that that's all set, I'm going to go in and highlight my face. I'm going to be using the MAC Prep+Prime highlighting stick in the shade Light Boost. And I'm going to go back in with that same It Cosmetics loose powder, and I'm going to set the creases in my forehead. I find that even though this is kind of good for pores, it's actually made for pores, it's good for your fine lines and wrinkles as well. So I just kind of shake off the excess from my beauty blender, and then I go in and I just stamp this on my forehead to kind of fill in those lines. So now that I'm done with setting all of that, I'm going to go in and fill my brows. I use the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Taupe. That was a really hard P. It was like Taupe. I think I want to do an in-depth brow tutorial on how I fill my brows having fair eyes and fair hair, because sometimes I find that when you have brows that are fair, if you draw them in too harshly, you can totally see the lines and it looks very like, you know, stencil brow kind of look. I like mine a little bit more, I guess, natural, if you want to call it that. But let me know if you want to see an in-depth tutorial on how I do that. So now that my brows are on, I'm going to go in and I'm going to do an extra step. You totally don't have to do this step. I'm just doing this because my brows are out of control and they need to be done and they need to be waxed and they are insane. But I'm just going to go in with a little bit of that same concealer, the MAC Pro-longwear concealer. I have a few hairs here that are outgrown, but I don't want to wax them yet because I'm just waiting for the rest of this brow to grow back. But if you have fair hair, this is a good trick if your brows are a little bit past due when they need to be waxed or threaded or whatever it is that you do. Just going in with a little bit of concealer, because you can kind of hide some of those hairs if they're fair. And plus it sort of defines the brow and highlights for you as well. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go in and highlight my brow bone. I like to use this little brush right here. I'm pretty sure I got it from Target. I don't know exactly because it has no name. And I'm just going to use this very first shade in the palette here to highlight my brow bone. So I'm going to use this pencil right here from NYX to line my waterline and then tightline with this as well a little bit. if you've placed your tape correctly, what will happen when you line your bottom line, your waterline, is it should match up with the tape, so you have that like nice catty eye. Like, kind of reminds me of the look that Michelle Pfeiffer had when she was in the second Batman, where she was Catwoman, and she had on like that jet black, like shiny cat suit, and she was like coming out of that store after she blew it up, and then she's just like, meow. And that's what this look makes me want to do. I'm just going to take the same Kat Von D Monarch palette and that black shade that we used from before, and I'm going to smudge it in with this Sigma E20 short smudger brush. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to smoke that out pretty heavily, pretty smoky. And I'm going to use this brown shade that we used here in the palette, the Morphe the Morphe 35W palette, and I'm going to smoke that out pretty heavily using a fairly large brush. I'm going to be using the Morphe M433, the one we used in our crease from before. Alright, now I'm going to go in and finish the rest of my face. To contour today, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Contour Kit. I am in the shade Light Medium, and I'm going to be taking this middle shade right here along with my NARS Ita brush, and I'm going to contour my face, cheekbones, and jawline, always. Sometimes I do my forehead, every once in a while, just depends on how I'm feeling, but I always do my cheekbones and my forehead. So then while I do my jawline, I'm going to go in and I'm going to bake this a little bit just to make sure that that contour is nice and crisp. Plus I feel like I got a little bit low on this one side. So I'm going to go in with my, this is an old school powder. I've been using this thing since I was like 16. This is the CoverGirl Professional Loose Powder. It's just a plain old one you can get in this brown package. This is the shade 105 Translucent Pear. Translucent Fair, not Translucent Pear. What? Anyway, but I'm going to go in and I'm going to bake with this Morphe M459 brush, and basically this powder is phenomenal for baking, especially when you need to like kind of bake / correct, kind of like I need to. Okay. Then for blush, I'm going to go in and use my Wet n Wild Rose Champagne Color Icon Blush. I love this blush. It's a really, really pretty dusty rose color. It's not too pink and it's not too tan. It's like perfect for a look just like this. And I'm going to use my Morphe G8. This is from their Gunmetals collection, I believe. I got this last year at the premiere show, which I'm so excited to go again this year, can I just tell you. It's a show in Orlando for people who are in the industry, estheticians, cosmetologists, massage therapists, stuff like that. It's a big, huge show where we get to go and like see a bunch of new stuff, and we get stuff at discounted rates. Like, it's really fun. But I'm just going to put this on the apples of my cheeks and draw upwards. Then for highlight today, I'm going to be going in with my Kathleen Lights highlighter palette, the one that she created with Makeup Geek. I absolutely adore her. I think she is phenomenal. She's so talented and so genuine. I think she's just the cutest thing ever. And I'm going to be using these two shades, this pink one as well as this one here. The pink one I'm only going to be putting the very tops of my cheekbones, so I start with this one here. Some people who are a little bit more up in age or mature skin think that you can't highlight because it's going to show your wrinkles, or it's going to show, you know, the lines in your skin. And this does show my wrinkles when I smile. You can totally see it, but I don't care, because I'm like, if I want to highlight, I'm going to highlight. I mean, I don't think that you should stop doing something that you love just because of a few little wrinkles. And I'm going to hit my nose with this. And a little bit in the center of my forehead and in between my brows, and then just a little bit on my chin. Then I'm going to go back in with this pink shade, and I'm going to hit just the very tops of my cheekbones. I love pink highlight. I think that is so pretty. Okay, so last but not least, I'm going to go in and finish it with my mascara. I'm going to pop on some falsies. So my lashes are on while I'm waiting for this lash glue to dry. These were very, very difficult to work with. Let me just tell you, my first impression, not good. Like, they're faux mink, so the band is thick like regular mink lashes, but it's not flexible at all. As a matter of fact, I think I can even feel this side coming off right now. So I'm going to go ahead and set my skin with the Milani Make It Last setting spray. Then I'm going to go off camera, take down my hair, put on some earrings, and I'll be back to put on my lipstick to complete this look. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just spray this to set everything down. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry. I'm going to go take it out of my hair and I will be right back. So now that my lashes have set and my setting spray is dried, I'm going to go in and do my lips. I'm going to be using the Jordana Easy Liner Lip Pencil. This is the retractable one, and this is in the shade Sedona Red. I'm going to overline my lips just a little bit, and then I'm going to go and fill them in with the Kat Von D Everlasting Lipstick. I believe that's what it's called. Everlast Lipstick? Everlasting, yeah, in the shade Outlaw. So that completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos from me. Remember that SPF is your best friend, and I will see you next time. Bye!